Do you have a line of whiskeys that you just can't help but gravitate to? Tonight, we're going to dive into a bourbon company that continues to impress. Stay tuned. Welcome to the fourth day of whiskey. I'm Cyncere, and tonight we're going to be blind tasting 4 whiskeys that I can't seem to stay away from. We're talking about Bardstown Bourbon Company. One of these 4 never seemed to fail me, no matter what day of the week, no matter what the occasion. It just comes through every time. Let's see how it stacks up tonight in the blind. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bells to stay up to date on all things Cynple Whiskey. So tonight is going to be different in a couple of ways. One, if you're wondering why I sound like LSU's football coach, I just got over an upper respiratory infection. I wouldn't even say I'm completely over it, but I'd only had 3 videos pre-recorded, so we're pretty much live tonight. It'll be up first thing in the morning. So when you see this video will have been shot last night. And then secondly, we're going with a blind tasting tonight, so I don't have to do quite as much talking. So we'll see if you like that format, and if you do, let me know in the comments, and we may do that a couple more times, given I still have quite a few more videos to shoot. So I will do a condensed version of the simple listing, since there's 4 of these for me to try to get through. The main goal tonight is to go through each of the 4 whiskeys, figure out which one is the best of the 4. I have yet to blind these against one another. They all 4 come from the same distillery, so I'm going to put them against one another. In the near future, I will do a full-blown review of at least a couple of these, but for the sake of not talking as much tonight, we're going to jump straight into the blind. I'll give a condensed, simple listing. Naughty or nice, list all of them after we've crowned the winner. Let's go. Here are the bourbons that we're going to be diving into tonight. Poured these earlier, labeled the glasses, put them down here, mixed them up, left, came back, mixed them up again. I have no idea what's in each glass. Hopefully in post I'll put it on the screen as I taste them once I know what they are at the end. I'm going to go through them all one by one first. I'm smiling because I think I know what this is. I'm sure I'm probably going to be wrong, but definitely a good nose. Now that I've had a chance to go through them each one by one, I'm going to give you a little bit of feedback as to what I get on each one. So, or the first one. The nose on this one is really good. There's almost like a fruity note that I get on the nose. Very inviting, very warm, but like I said, it still has some sort of a fruity note to it. A little bit of floral note. Just from the nose, it seems like it would be like a lower bite on it. Nowhere near as ethanol-y as you usually get for one. First nose of the night, first sip of the night. All right, to B or number 2. This one almost gives me like a rye spice nose on it. It's like extremely floral, but also rye spice minty. But it really smells good. Like, it's not off-putting by any stretch. I also get a little bit more of that ethanol-y scent on the tail end of the nose that I did not get on the first one. Let's go to C or 3. Either this one just burnt my nose out or this one just is flat. There's a very standard bourbon nose, but almost lackluster, kind of flat. This will probably be the one that I really like. I do get a little bit of vanilla. A little bit of vanilla. A little bit of vanilla, a little bit of oak. Something about it just leaves something to desire. This one leaves more to the imagination than I would have anticipated. Alright. Alright, now this one. This one gives me more of an oaky, sweet, almost confectionery, like a puff pastry, but then I get a little bit of that, little bit of oakiness on the tail end of the nose. Maybe like a light oak, not too heavy, not too dark, and then a small amount of almost potpourri. I really like this nose too. So of the four, I believe the second one had the most prominent nose, especially when it came to ethanol scent. The first one had the most flavorful nose. And then this was the flat nose. But as I say, as I smell it now, I get a little bit more, but it's still quite flat. Let's give them all a sip. All right, back to A or number one. I still think I know what it is. I don't want to spoil it. I will say, of all the water I've been drinking in between, if it looks like I'm cutting in and out more often than not, I'm just leaning down and grabbing some water to keep my mouth hydrated so I don't keep squeaking and cutting out. But this right here definitely hit the spot and opened it up, surprisingly, because the last like 4 nights, even the smell of bourbon was just not doing it for me. But this one, on the initial sip, I get maybe some almond. I wouldn't say nutty like a Booker's nutty, but like a I don't know. It's like just the overall, the aftertaste and almond would leave in your mouth after you finish eating. All right, let's go for a sip of 2 or B. Oh, that floral note, not really crazy on the proof. I don't think this is 100 proof, whatever it is. This is a Discovery. I'd be wrong because the proof on this is 112.5. So I guess instead of trying to guess, I should be tasting them all and figuring out which one I like the most. So I'll keep going. C or 3. So this one is very quintessential bourbon. I get caramel. I get a little bit of honey. It really is sweet, and it's a good sweet. Not overpowering at all, which makes me think this is probably a lower proof. I initially thought the same about this one, but after having this one really tastes a little bit low. And if it's not a lower proof, it definitely doesn't hit you up front with that ethanol-y taste like some of the higher proofs usually do. Let's try D or 4. So this one I definitely get a little more of that, like rye spice note on this one, maybe a little bit more cinnamon than what I would have anticipated solely from the nose. Not a crazy bite, but still a flavorful punch in terms of overall expression. This one's actually decent, but I think I'm going to get rid of this one first. All right, now we're down to 3. Go through these really quick. Something about this I'm really liking. This one. Which this one is C. I eliminated B, A, C, D. This one's okay, but it gives me more of that rye spice note. Not sure why. Alright. I'm eliminating C. Only A and D remain. A, D. I will go ahead and spoil which one I said was the one I go to, the Fusion series. Well, I mean, it's no surprise, I guess, if you look at just how much has gone out of this bottle. This has been one of my favorites since I first uncovered it. I will definitely always back this one up. I've been walking past it in the stores, and as I see it, I'm like, yeah, I probably should get me another one. Still haven't got around to doing that, but maybe it wins tonight, and it just proves my point that I need to get me a case of them next time I'm out and about. All right, let's go to A and D. So if this is what I think it is, that means, hold on. I think, so, A, B, C, and D. So B went out first, and then my favorite got third. And last but not least, D. And tonight's winner, I can chalk this up to the fact that I'm so sick that my palate is definitely not on. I do tend to reach for this one a lot more now as my palate has matured. So for me, I thought I knew what this one was early on. I'll have to look back and see what I said when I went down the line and just how close to right I was or wasn't. So there you have it. I said I was going to do a condensed, simple breakdown on this one. I think that my voice has had probably as much as it can for the night. So all in all, aside from the 2 most expensive, these 2 would definitely make my nice list. So I'm sure you're sick of my voice and probably the multiple amounts of cuts in this. Probably the lowest amount of B-roll that I'll add to any video that I do. I really want to knock this out, get it edited, get it up in the morning for you guys. I'm tired. Hopefully you enjoyed this blind tasting. If you'd like me to do more blinds similar to this in the future with a little less background on the bourbons and a little more just right there, smash mouth, nose, taste, finish type deal, eliminate, then let me know in the comments. I think they're all good bourbons. I think a couple of them are a bit pricey for what you get in terms of when you compare it to other things in that price range, but I'm not knocking them. I do like Bardstown Bourbon Company. I think it's pretty cool what they're doing with a lot of these blends and things of that nature. So I will continue to buy their products. There's a couple more that I've seen on the shelf that I'll pick up. Maybe I'll do a blind with some of those, and if any of those become some of my favorites, maybe I'll do my top 3 against one another and see what comes out on top in that competition also. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell for all things Cynple Whiskey. I'll leave you with this. Your voice can only carry you so far. Your personality will do the talking. Share your whiskey with those you love. Love the people you share your whiskey with. Keep it simple.